What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Creative. Go ahead, say it with me. We are back at it again to do what? To create something great. Now, I'm not going to hold you. I'm super excited what I have planned for y'all today. We're going to be going over our VWopper bot. This is our bot that trades QQQ, and QQQ is the top 100 tech companies within the NASDAQ. It trades 0 DTE options. These are option contracts that expire the same day. And the way that this bot finds the momentum, right, in order to trade the option, the bot uses an EMA crossover, and the EMA is going to be the exponential moving average. It also uses VWAP, hence the name VWopper. And in addition to that, it uses RSI in order to make sure we're not overbought or oversold. So if you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like and subscribe button. So let's jump straight into this. So this is our VWopper bot, right? This bot trades from 9:42 a.m. to 11:11. Between 9:30 and 9:42, what this bot is doing is building its opening range, right? An initial bias, and make sure that it has enough bars in order to establish this support and resistance zone. So this is the checklist that the bot goes through in order to figure out if it's going to take a trade or not. So the first thing that this bot is going to do is figure out, okay, don't do that. My fault. I just clicked something I wasn't supposed to. My fault. So the first thing that this bot is going to do is figure out, all right, bet, which direction is the market going, right? And the way that the bot figured this out is using the exponential moving average, or EMA. It's using the EMA 2 and EMA 4. So I use 1 minute when it comes to being able to trade for this particular bot. There's some bots that use multi-time frame, but for this bot, it uses 1 minute time frame, right? And it'll make a little bit more sense here. So it's using the last 2 minutes and 4 minutes in order to determine if there's a bullish, we think that the market is going to go up, or a bearish momentum trigger, right? So these fast lines confirm the direction change on the same bar as other filters, right? Then we're looking at VWAP, right? VWAP is going to be the volume weighted price average, and we want to make sure that we're on the right side of VWAP, right? We're buying with the institutions, not against it, right? So we want to trade with VWAP as the context, not against it. The third thing what we're going to look at is RSI. Is RSI extreme, right? Recent exhaustion. For calls, we're looking at RSI with the period of 2, right? So last 2 minutes. I don't know why you keep doing that. My fault. I appreciate your patience. So we're looking at RSI with the period of 2, right? So the last 2 minutes, we're trying to see for a call that RSI is less than or greater to 40 within the last 2 bars. And for a put, RSI is greater than or equal to 60, right? So a fresh dip or rip can snap back with momentum, not still RSI from many bars ago. And then we're looking at candle confirmation for a call bullish signal. We're looking at the close is greater than the open, and for a put, we're looking at the close is less than the open. So these are the reversal bars that agree with the direction. And then we also have our support resistance boundaries, right? So for support or resistance, right, support is going to be the lowest lows the underlying asset may, right? So when it touches the support level, what's going to happen is that we want to be able to trigger a buy, right? Because the asset is making its lower lows, and when it's touching the resistance levels, it's making its higher highs, right? So what we want to do is go ahead and trigger a sell, right? Because now we're in the black, right? Now we want to profit, and just go ahead and be able to set up your sell. So that's our support and resistance. So the way that VWopper does this, it's using peaks and valleys, right? So as you guessed it, the peaks is going to be the resistance and the valleys is going to be the support. So this is a dynamic indicator that the bot is using. So every candle, what it's doing is using ATR with a period of 5, right, in order to determine if it's a call or if it's a call with being with support, or resistance with being a put. So not every RSI bounces only from the structure is institutional respect. And this is the grades that we're going to use in order to figure out this is a signal we're going to take or a conservative skip, right? And this is how we break down our grades. And here is our exits. We're either going to take profit, TP1, and we're looking at 14%, and our trails what we're looking for, as soon as we're up 9%, right, we want to be able to arm our trail, and our trail is going to be our trailing stop loss, and we're going to follow it 2% back, right? So what that means, as soon as we're up 9% and the option drops 2%, we're going to lock in our 7%, because guess what you never go broke doing? Taking a profit. And our stop loss is set to 10%. So whenever the move goes against us for 10%, we're going to get out of this thing. And we have 3 minutes for either of these things to happen, either for us to take profit, that's preferred. Trail, that's still okay, because you don't go broke taking a profit. And what I'm not looking for is a stop loss, because that lets me know that the move went against us. And here's what we're doing in order to figure out how to select an option. Now, again, these are 0 DTE options. These are option contracts that expire the same day. I like to think of it this way. Why wait until Friday, Wednesday, 2 weeks from Friday, 5 weeks from Monday, right? That's just an exaggeration. In order to get paid, why not get paid the same day, right? So this is what we're looking, and that's why I trade 0 DTE options. Now, there's a flip side to that, right? With every risk, there's the reward, but there's that risk there that you have to be able to take into account. And again, here's a quick reference on how the call inputs are set up. So what we're looking for is that the EMA is above the EMA 2. The last 2 minutes is above the EMA 4. The close is greater than the VWAP, because we want to make sure that we're buying with VWAP, with the institutions, not against it. And we also want to make sure that RSI is extended, right? Is exhausted. So RSI is like my marathon runner, for lack of better words, right? If you've been running 5 marathons, right? Excuse me, if you've been running 5 miles, right, you're going to be a lot more out of breath than somebody that's only ran a mile or 2 miles, right? So we want to see that that exhaustion there within the last 2 bars. And as soon as we have that, we want to make sure we have our bullish candle for a call setup. And then we only trade A and B, and then see if it's not risky based off our opening range and our bias. And the push is just going to be the opposite, right? So let's go ahead and run our back test for this strat so you can see it perform. Did you do what I wanted you to do? Okay. Open the files so we can review it now. I'm going to have the calendar pop up so we can actually review some trades from today. So that'll be great. So what I'm doing right now first is actually running the back test. And what is a back test? Is being able to take your strategy and then drop it off on a particular year. The school of thought is that if the strategy performs well in the past, then there's a likelihood, not a guarantee, but then there's a high likelihood that the strategy will perform well in the future, right? So I'm back testing this strategy on 2024 QQQ. All of our back tests start with $100 unless I tell you otherwise. So what we're doing right now, the back test just loaded all of its data in order to run it. And we're pre-indexing the back test, meaning it's supposed to be faster, but you got to give into account like it is loading a shitload of data. So the back test is running. And at the end of it, we're going to review. Let me make sure you can. Beautiful. All right. I have what I need. Gucci. I got what I need. So let's go ahead and review our back test. So again, all of our back tests start at 100 bones, unless I tell you otherwise. So what this strategy was able to do, out of 208 trades, it was able to start at $100 and go to $70,219.70. The max drawdown is negative 9.2%. What that means is that at one point in time, the strategy went down. It started at $100 and went down to $91.80. But it felt so bad that at the end of the year, it was able to bring us $70,000. So that's not that bad. The Sharpe ratio, I mean, it's not attractive. But again, I'm not raising money. So anything above 0.75, that's good for me in my house, right? Serentino ratio. Reason that Sharpe ratio is not a little bit higher, because again, it does measure the overall risk, right? So what the Sharpe ratio is doing, if you did nothing, if you put your money in a savings account, could you have been a lot more safer than being able to take these risks in this underlying market, right? So that's why it's a little bit low here. So out of 208 trades, we were able to get 84% win rate. With that 84% win rate, we do have a profit factor of 12. So what that lets me know, for every $1 the strategy lost, it felt so bad, it made us $12 back, right? Best trade was $2,300. Worst trade was $1,300. The average win, it's not crazy, right? $436, and the average loss is $191. Max win streak, I think that's kind of nice, is 15. And then we're looking at our average max loss streak was 2. So let's go ahead and look at a signal that was generated today from our bot. And I don't know whenever you're watching this today, for me, it's going to be April 1st, 2026. And no, it's not April Fool's. Haha. Excuse me, I didn't want to cough in your ear. So as you can see here at 9:42, right, we were able to see a signal, a call signal for this particular bot. So what it did, it was able to get into this position, and let's actually look at how well did it fare. So what I have right now is our week to date calendar. This week to date calendar is for all of our bots. What I want to do is just pull up VWopper, baby, so we could look at its trades today. Oh, it did not trade today. That's okay. VWopper baby didn't have a trade, but that's okay. The bot is not, I mean, there's going to be some days that it doesn't trade, but there was a signal that generates, right? It just didn't make its way through all the filters that the bot has, but that's okay. One of the things that I do love about this bot, it is quite selective on the moves that it does make, right? But not every trade is going to make it through the filter. So if you want more videos like this, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. It is your boy Creative. We'll be back at it again with another episode.